everyone, and welcome to the latest YouTube vlog from Barton Oil Burner Services. Again, thanks for everyone that's subscribed so far and all the views. Yeah, great, we're really happy. Thank you very much for that. So quickly on to this week, we are going to do something a bit different. What we've done so far is one project, sort of like just a boiler installation or just a service of a boiler. We're going to have a go at a bit of a day in the life. Day in the life of BOBS. A bit of what goes on in the office, a bit of what goes on the road. Just a general overview of what we get up to in the week. Bit of a shorter week than normal, so I was going to start it on Tuesday. We tend to release all our vlogs on a Friday, so we're just going to have a sort of 3-day, 4-day in-depth of what's going on. However, today's Sunday, it's 5:45 and I've just received a phone call. So yeah, we've all guessed it, I'm in my van. It's an Arga cooker, it's got oil pouring out of something outside. They've sent me a picture, it's the remote sensing fire valve. Unfortunately, the isolation valve is the wrong side of the remote sensing fire valve, and I don't know how to turn the oil tank off, despite me explaining to them how to turn it off. So I'm now on my way. It's what we do. I'm not going to say, hey look, I'm really happy because I'm going out on a Sunday night and I've had a really hard week and quite a busy Saturday, a bit of decorating today. I was just sitting down for a rest. But at the end of the day, we can't say no, not going, because it could turn into something worse. So put a smile on and off we go, basically. As long as I've got this, my coffee, look at the cup, sapphire, then obviously I'm always happy, we all know that. So I'm going to go there now, I'm going to see what happens. It's a good 55 minutes away, that's the other thing that's a bit frustrating. Yes, I know I've got 3 lads that work for me, yes I know I could have sent one of them, but I'm not that boss. I'd feel terrible this time of night on a Sunday. Hey look, they deserve a rest, so it's what I do. It's just me, I just get like it, I just got to go and do it. So I've made it. Let's have a look. I think they said the leak's around this corner. Let's have a little look here. Oh, it's lovely here, look everyone. Oh, that's not ideal, is it? Where's that leak in? Fire valve, just like we thought. Okay, I need to get straight off. Oh, nobody here. I'm sure they've got an oil tank in here that's not where it's supposed to be. I think it's in, I'm pretty sure it's in here. Let's have a look. Nope. I'm sure it's on one of these. Yes, I think it's in there. It is actually in the first one. Here it is. Right. Nice isolator. Oh, off. Look at that, everyone. So the tank's been put in here. Look at all the crap against it. I'm not going to show too much for obvious reasons. They have tried and put fire protection around it and stuff, but not ideal, is it? But at least I've isolated it now, so I better go and try and fix it. I suppose I better go and have a quick look inside. They've left the door open. Hello? No, nobody in here. Oof, smells of oil in here as well. That's not ideal. Yeah, that's not ideal at all. Let's have a little look in the cupboard. Nope, I can't see a leak in there anywhere. There seems to be a bit of a smell, which is inside, so very clearly what's happened is it's the smell's got through inside. There is some air vents, I know that, because there's an Arga cooker in there, so it's probably smelling through there. It's crept up here as well, look. I think that's been leaking a while, that. I just don't think they're aware of it. It's like this place has quite a few properties here, so I think it's just a place where they just obviously don't look very often, and they've found it. So I think it's a case of repair it, put something onto the floor and then come back and have a bit more of an examination, because it's going to be I wouldn't say they've lost a lot of oil, because as we all know, a tiny bit of oil spreads a long way. They reckon a pint of kerosene on water can spread up to like the size of an average football pitch. That's a long old way away. But obviously in this case I just don't think, yeah, they've lost a bit, but I don't think it's a total disaster, but it's not ideal. Better go get some tools out of the van. I was going to try and time lapse this, but it's a bit hard because of where it is. So what I've done is I've cut the old pipe so there in front of the fire valve. I've put a bend on the pipe there, and I'm going to come up and then I'm going to go along the wall and then I'm going to put the isolation valve, then I'm going to put the filter and then the fire valve and back in the wall. Normally I like to put the fire valve and the filter and the isolation valve all together, so they're all taped and pasted and they're all together, no pipe in between them. However, I've done a lot of jobs this week and I'm low on copper pipe until I go to the office on Monday, and I'm just here as an emergency trying to get them going. So we have got that much, that's it everybody, that much copper pipe. So somehow I've got to deal with that. I don't want to use the old copper pipe, but I've got that. So we'll see how we get on. My most important thing for me now is to safely get them up and running again. I'm going to reuse the filter because essentially I'm going to check it and there's nothing wrong with it, and it's saving the customers some money. Okay, because they've already asked me how much it's going to cost. Not going to be a lot of money, it might be a Sunday, but we're not expensive on a Sunday. Not compared to other companies. However, we just need to be sensible about what we're going to do. So I'll check the filter, replace the filter element if required, and that will go back in and be cleaned. I will reuse the isolation valve because again there's nothing wrong with it, it just wants wiping, and I will just put a new fire valve in. I have, however, going to do it differently so it comes up like I've just said and goes along and in, rather than the way they've done it. It just looks neater and tidier, so that's my idea. So rather than me showing you all this a bit at a time and stepping it down, because all you oil boys out there will just know what I'm doing anyway, this is what we're going to do. We're going to count down. We're going to go a 3, 2, 1, boom. And there we go. That's much better. So I've got a joint there, I've got a piece of pipe, I've put my isolation valve in just there, followed by my filter and my fire valve, a little shunt in. This is why you see down here you've got 2 holes. When you install anything, separate hole for the fire valve. This is the exact reason why. Flipping heck, that would have taken me so much longer, another hole through the wall, find it behind the cupboard, etc, etc. But because that's been done before by somebody else, thank you very much, it saved me so much time. It's 7:45 now, it's taken even longer to do that, and I've still got another, what, 45-50 minutes to get home. There is a sleeve in there, I've just got to push it back from the other side because I knocked it and pushed it through, and then seal it. Just got to light the Arga, and then I'm back on my journeys again on the way home. That's that one all done then. Off back home. Took a bit longer to light than I wanted to. In the end I actually had to take the burner out and give it a clean. Can't have been serviced for a while, I don't think. So unfortunately, if you turn them off and leave them and they're carbon, when you go to fire them, you just can't get the oil through, they don't want to go. So the customer got service as well of the Arga. 8:30 is what it is. And as I'm off home now, hopefully tomorrow that'll be a case of put a seatbelt on everybody, that'll be a case of give my van a little wash, ready for Tuesday, and up and running, and let's see what we can show you guys out there. Right, hello Bobs fan, you're joining me in a day in the life of Benjamin Butler, or as everyone else likes to call me, Robert's son or Ryan's brother. Yeah, as you can see, got the shades on, which means it's a lovely sunny day. I'm only joking, it's absolutely miserable, but I've got my glasses and it's only the smoothest thing I've got, so that keeps it interesting. So, what I've done is, we started the day with a lovely tank job, which was very, very interesting. It happened to be my grandparents' next door neighbour, who we know very, very well, and that was an absolute pain in the bottom to do. Because it's one of them houses where the only way to get to the garden is through the back of the garage, and he had a 1200 litre bunting tank which happened to not fit through the gap, which wasn't very good. So what we had to do is go through my grandparents' garden, over the fence, and then put it on the base, and then yeah, so that was really, really awkward, but we got it done in the end, which is good. And then after that, I went and vented an oil line for this poor lady who just got back because she had a burst pipe, and then she got back, it's like, right, my house is fixed, thank God, and she ran out of oil, so I had to get a boiler going, which was nice and easy. And then to top a day off, I condemned the tank with a lot of back crack in it, which is never really, really good. And then I've just done a service at a mechanic shop, which was quite exciting. I love doing mechanic shops because I just like listening to what they're on about. And some poor guy failed his MOT because he had a bald tyre, which was unlucky for him. So yeah, that's my day so far. So it's been quite exciting. Oh, what's going on here? Fluent roadworks. So now I'm currently on my way to the office because I'm getting a bit low on nozzles, and also it was my birthday yesterday, and I had to go and pick some cards and stuff up. And then I've got another service in Cumberland, which is a lovely lady. It's a house I'm thinking of, a nice Euro, I think, an old boiler, old but gold. We love old boilers. But yeah, that's my day so far.
Right, So here we are. You're actually joining me in the middle of the day because my first 2 jobs got cancelled, and I spent all of that time with my 2 colleagues, Little Ben and Big Ben, because they had a tank job that's just a bit difficult. They just needed another hand, that's all. So obviously all the tanks are very heavy, and we've got that sorted. But anyway, this is my first service of the day. External, non-condensing Camry 5. Back in their day, they were best of the best. Personal opinions and all that. As you can see, this boiler's older than me, still running, still purring, and to be honest with you, you've got years and years left in it, but obviously you have to see what the future holds. Might have to upgrade it to a condensing one at some point next few years and get it on renewable HVO fuel. But anyway, simples, I've gave it a real good clean inside, so lots of sulphur, bit of black soot in this one, but like I say, I cleaned all that out. As I pulled the burner out, I noticed a combustion leak, gases escaping, so the O-ring around the burner had split, just a rubber O-ring, so I've replaced that so we don't have any more leaky gases. I've also replaced the nozzle, as per usual. You must have a nozzle every year. Now I know some people might not believe it, I don't service my boiler and it works fine. Believe you me, boilers need nozzles every year. If you do not change the nozzle every year, you are waiting for your boiler to soot up, and one of us engineers spending from 1.5 hours up to 4 hours cleaning all the soot out of your boiler. Very expensive, and believe you me, it's a lot cheaper just servicing your boiler every year. Now, this is another reason you service your boilers every year. You can see, this is a flexible oil line. So you've got a hard copper that goes into the boiler there. As you get in the boiler, flexible oil line, so we can lots of manoeuvrability. And like I say, we can get the burner in and out nice and easy, but as you can see, that one has absolutely had it. So I've replaced that. Now again, do your boiler every year, because if we missed that, that would have poured oil everywhere. Quite hell of a mess, hell of a stench. It's not what you want. We replaced them with these EOGB Ruby Reds. They are fantastic. Now I've put some new oil lines on it and all that. I've tested the boiler obviously, and it's all good and going. Problem is the oil tank's had it. Now the oil tank's got some splits in it. I always have to, as an engineer, we always have to take pictures and write and put warning stickers on split tanks. And I'm going to contact them later on to have a chat about it. But I'm all covered, so yeah, this one's nice and done. All up and running as efficiently as possible as I can get these ones to run. And yeah, on to the next one. I think I'm off to do another service now.
So we've been called out to this one. There's no hot water. A guy came the other day, he changed his valve here. Okay, but before he tidied the wiring up, and when he plugged it in again, it went bang for some reason, and he didn't know why a spark come out of here. So they've sent me to come and have a look. The first thing I notice is that the wiring centre is not ideal. But just to show we can all make mistakes, if I just go in here where the wiring is, as you can see, when they have wired it originally, they've used like an earth wire here. I haven't put like any shrouding around it of a different colour. So that is the life and the heating circuit, which is a bit silly. So that he's managed to work out and has put it back in the same place. But this wire here, it goes to the hot water cylinder. And what he's done, unfortunately, is that wire there, the neutral there, must have fell out. Okay, so he's put it back in the neutrals, but it's not a neutral wire. Actually, the brown wire goes to the thermostat, then it clicks open and it powers up the blue wire, which again has got no shroud around it. So by mistake, instead of pushing the blue one into the brown one there, and it goes around, he stuck it into the neutral. So clearly we've got live go all the way through, the cylinder stat open, straight to neutral, bang, and that's how it's happened. As much as he's done wrong, I can't really moan, because at the end of the day, this neutral wire should have had a tag on it so we know what it is. A bit of lack of experience, should have just checked it and double checked where his wires were coming from. But then from the same point of view, it should have been right to start with. I'm going to put it right now, but then I'm going to suggest that it has a rewire, because it just looks like an absolute mess to me. It just proves that we can get things wrong and we can rectify them pretty quickly, which is the most important thing. Okay, so that one is done. I'm not cross. I'm just frustrated. It's just cost me a timer, and what's worse is that the timer, I've put an EPH timer on, so yeah, it hasn't cost me much money, but the one that come off was an old mechanical Satchwell style thing, just rubbish. But I can't go to the customer, well, you've got to pay for a programmer now, because essentially we blew it up. So you just have to take a hit sometimes. As much as it's frustrating and it's costing me my time and a programmer, I'd rather have a happy customer. So that, yeah, no hot water and then put a valve on and bang, from a very, very silly error, but an understandable error, because obviously the electrician hasn't sleeved the wire, so we know what's going on, and is using all live neutral earths for everything, which you can't just do. Then I understand where the mistake was made. On to my next one. I think I'm off to the office now, so have a see what's going on there. I've got to order some parts, as you do, because if I don't order some parts, it's just going to be a nightmare, and then I can't get on with the rest of my jobs. The boys have done an oil tank swap this morning. That weren't ideal, because the guy wanted 1,000 litre tank for a start, then it got changed to 1,200, and I didn't think, because it was quite a narrow gap to get it through in his garden. When we turned up there with a tank, it's 880 wide and the door's 760 wide, so clearly we couldn't get it through, whereas a 1,000 litre tank 610 wide, so we would have got it through. So that's a bit of a, oh, what are we going to do? Luckily, and really luckily, because clearly this doesn't happen often, it was right next door to my parents, which means that we could creep the tank through their garden. We're pleased about that, otherwise that could have caused us further issues, but I think they're all up and running and done that job now. I think my other son is servicing, and yeah, we'll keep going. Okay, I'm now at the office. Let's see what Karen's been up to. Is she busy? There she is. What have you been up to this morning, Karen?
I've been catching up on all the emails that came in while I was on annual leave.
You have,
I've been
because
very busy.
You have, good.
All
I
the
like to
ones
see
that
you
you
busy.
didn't do while I
I
was
think
away.
you'll find I've done a lot. We'll get into that conversation a bit later.
Okay.
So we've just got to deal with that. I'm just flashing across it. I'm not going fast, 'cause I don't want people to see all the people's names. And there she is. And I suppose I better get on. There's my lovely desk there. There we go.
It's Ben B here with young Ben over
hi,
here.
It's Big Ben here.
Oh,
Okay.
Big Ben, here we go. He wishes. Here we are today on a lovely new tank base, as you can see, in the beautiful south of Cambridge. So the old tank is here, and it is currently weeping. It's all rotted underneath. So we are here today putting a new base in, which will be going here, and the boiler's over here.
Right, so I heard a rumour that you were struggling to know how to start a cement mixer up. So just in case you forgot, you've got your little on-off switch right there. You just flick it on.
That might help.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah,
That's probably the mistake most of you are making, because you're probably really stupid.
Yep.
Especially when you're an electrician.
Yep.
And then you take two. And then you
There you go.
off we go.
Simple as that.
Wild Benjamin in his natural habitats. Just mix in. Alright, all done for the day. As you can see, lovely concrete base. It's turned out very, very nice. And then we've started to dig the oil line, so we've got a rough idea where it's going. As soon as it goes a bit deeper, we'll do that when we come back. Then it's going to come up here, go around there, stick a little fire valve there, then put it in the boiler. But yeah, it's turned out really, really nice.
Here I am, one wall star. So this is what I'm servicing. Won't take too long. Burner out, combustion chamber, clean, go through nozzle, clean all the burner, check everything, check the bearings as per my Grant video really. Just a wall star. It needs a good clean, as you can see. Hasn't been done for a while, but look, literally no soot, so we know it's been running okay. There's a fire valve being fitted. That's good. We're really happy with that. No filter. I suppose I can mention it to the customer. They should come out, maybe have a filter, which would be a great idea, but it's installed like that, so we can only advise. The chances of them actually doing it is going to be 0. It's a little bit low. Anything under 2 meters terminal guard. Good news, terminal guard. Not the right one, but it's got terminal guard. So we'll go into the tank. First thing I notice, normal rubbish, not to regulation. We can only tell these people. It's all we can do, because no matter how many times we tell people, they still ignore us. So here, number 1, the shed is too close. Number 2, it's on a rubbish base. Number 3, it's not 300mm concrete all the way around. It's stone, as you can see. Number 4, it's within 6 foot of the eaves. Okay, so there's plenty going on there, within 600 of the downpipe. Okay, it's okay from the regulation of the boundary. So as you can see, there's a bit going on with this. The tank's getting tired. I don't know if you can see that. It's not cracked. It's fading along there. So even though there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, at some point in the near future, it's going to crack. So we'll say it's okay for now. There we go again. We'll say it's okay for now. However, I do say 15 years on a single skin tank, and as far as they're concerned, it should be changed. I think that's a bit of a mad rule, but it is what it is. If it's a bunded tank in its perfect condition, to be honest, I wouldn't say anything, but in this case it's getting a bit tired, so I will just mention it to them. I'll probably do a CD14 just advising it, but I don't think it's worthy of a sticker yet. The next thing I love about doing external boilers, look at the state of that that's coming. It's gonna rain, it's gonna pour with rain any second now. As much as I love outside boilers, it looks like I might get a little bit wet, and the wind's getting up. What a lot of people forget when you're servicing a boiler, it's supposed to test the fire valve. So I'm just going to show everyone really quickly how to do it. If you haven't got the gear, you need to get it. KBB test unit, others available. You have a choice. You have an insert in there which goes for the bigger KBBs. We'll slide in there the files, and this one here, as you can see, is for the finer files like here. So we're going to slide it in. This is the 65-degree fire valve. We're going to carefully unfold it, which I'm doing there, and we're going to slide it in, right in. I'm going to dial up the temperature. In this case, we are setting it, it's a 65-degree fire valve, so we're going to stick it at about 70 to make sure we see what happens. Just about 67. We're going to turn it on. It's going to tell us when it's ready. So it's on at the moment. It will come orange when it's ready, and then we're going to hope that the fire valve there has tripped. We'll leave it on for 5 minutes. If it hasn't tripped after 5 minutes, I'll up the temperature very slightly, and if we get sort of like to 75, maybe 80, and it hasn't tripped, clearly it's well out of calibration and it's no good. The only trouble with doing this is sometimes when we do it, we then find that we can't reset it and it breaks them. So it's a bit of a chance, but they say we're supposed to do it, so we're going to do it. One thing I love about Wallstar is if the customer's not here, it's an outside boiler, so we can still do it. And also, oh, by the way, it is literally going to rain. Look, I've got an inverter on the van, 2,500 watt inverter, absolutely brilliant. I can run a Hoover off that. That is a life-changing thing for us when we started doing that. We used to carry generators around, and we like to keep the boiler clean, so we're using generators, and it's just hard to work with a generator. That's why we've gone for that. But anyway, it's going to rain, so I've got to get going because it's raining. Just got done in time. It's raining. Downside of an outside boiler is when it rains, because you don't want all your tools getting wet. Luckily for me, I've got it done. Sweeties. I love my sweets. Yeah, I did have another outside boiler, but I might wait and go and do something else first, I think, today. I've got to look at a flue that's leaking, so I'm going to go and have a look at that now, and then we can go from there.
So, me and Ben are here today. Just installed this wonderful oil tank. Ben and little Ben and big Ben put this tank in yesterday. Just want to show you this in case you ain't seen it before. This way, Benjamin, come have a look. This is the reason the old oil tank is being replaced. As you can see, it is absolutely... Have it look. In fact, to be honest with you, I think I'm about to put my finger through the oil tank.
Anyway, and also, it's the exact same here. Right, what do you say now, Ryan?
Get your boiler serviced.
I just want to bring something to people's attention. Something that grinds on Barton Oil Burner Services just a little bit. As well as it grinds on any company that's in the service industry to do with heating, chimneys, stuff like that. And that is, when you get a service reminder, whether it comes through in May, June, July, in the summer months, and your boiler is due for a service, please pick up the phone and book it for a service. Please do not wait until the end of your lovely summer holidays when you suddenly think, oh, it's a bit chilly this morning, I must book the boiler in for a service. Because we are having people that are ringing to book their boilers in for services, and they're having to wait quite a while now, and they're not too happy. But these people got reminders in April or May or June, July. So please make people's lives a lot easier and literally book your service when you get time. Okay, literally, you get the letter, book it for your convenience. I'm on holiday for 2 weeks, it's our summer holiday. Can you do it when we get back, or can you do it before? Okay, it doesn't matter you get it done in the summer, it will still work the same in the winter time. Bit different with Arga cookers, because people like them lit for the winter and we like them etc, and they're not a light in the summer. But for boilers, please just do it. It's a lot easier. And on that note, that is the end of our vlog for the week. I hope you'd enjoyed it. It was going to be a day in the life, but I think it turned it out to quite a few days in a life. And it's just a little like jump in and take a little bit out of what's going on in our world, so to speak. Okay, obviously there's a lot more that goes on. We'd never show you everything, but we're just showing you how we flick between things and how we work, really. So I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe, like us. If you want to have a little comment, feel free. And we'll see you on the next one. But for now, stay safe. Afternoon, I'm looking at a boiler that's popping. I think probably...
Go.
You're not recording with turn it off.
No, carry on.
Okay, alright.
For now, stay safe. Is that okay, Archie Gavin?